Hey guys, Chef Wu Can here today. How are you? Now, how many of you guys love eating Chinese dumplings? Sometimes you have to go into the major cities, New York City, Chinatown, some dim sum shops around the counties, small town villages. But basically, you only get like maybe a dozen, if anything. Well, the latest craze with dumplings is the soup dumpling. And basically, I want to let you know that you can download an application on your smartphone. And the application is called WeeE, W-E-E-E. Download it. And that will give you access to all different types of products. Frozen food products, fresh products, vegetables, fruits, canned goods, whatever. All related to Asian cooking. All right? So remember, download the app, WeeE, okay? Now, I've tried many dumplings. You know, you have Star, ShopRite brand dumplings, whatever. But I came across this bag of dumplings. It's manufactured by Prime Foods. Now, since the situation with inflation, a lot of the food manufacturers have been adding a lot of fillers to extend the products that they have. But I feel that I'm paying good money, I'm working hard for my money, and I don't want diluted dumplings. Prime Deluxe Mini Pork Buns, right, doesn't dilute on any of the meat or pork that they put into it. And I know this because I bought a bag and I steamed them up and they were excellent, right? Now, you may get a dozen, right, at a restaurant, maybe 8. This is 1 pound, 4 ounces of soup dumplings, okay? Now, the beauty of soup dumplings is you steam it, you bite off the top so you don't get burned, because if there's liquid inside, it's going to burn you. So you bite the top, you may add some ginger, some soy sauce and vinegar, and that's a mixture already made, and I'll explain to you how you do it, and then you just enjoy it, right? So I'm going to show you that you can get better value for your money by shopping on WeeE and purchasing the item. Now, obviously, depending on where you live, right, at 21014, they're able to deliver it to me, right? But you put it in the freezer on a Friday night or during the day or for dinner or breakfast or lunch. You can make a couple, steam it up, and you'll save a lot of money. And this brand, I'm telling you, is very good. All right? So let me show you how we do it, okay? Okay, I'll be basically putting 4 or 5 in a steamer. And they basically look like this. It's all frozen. Okay? And you sit it upright on a piece of parchment paper in a steamer. Now, you may not have a steamer, but basically you just have a little flat container in a pot or bowl, and you'll be able to stick them down. And basically you cover it. And this is the key point here, 10 minutes of steaming. All right? 10 minutes, shut it off. Anything past that will wear down the skin, and a lot of the soup content inside the dumpling will fall out. Right? You don't want that. All right? So put about 4, 5, 6 if it's only for you. Now, the sauce. Buy a piece of ginger. Ginger root probably this big. Right? Take a piece. Take off the skin with a potato peeler. Right? Then with a very sharp knife, and obviously a sharp knife is always a safe knife, basically create slivers of ginger and then cut it into sticks, very thin sticks, all right? Then add it to a little bowl, rice bowl, add some thin soy sauce, and I'll have this in my description, what I recommend in terms of thin soy sauce, and add about 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. Add a dash of vinegar, white vinegar. Add a half a teaspoon of sugar. Now, if you don't want to use natural sugar and you're diabetic and you're prone to high blood sugar, you can use stevia monk fruit. It's a natural sweetener. It doesn't have a high glycemic number. And you can locate that at the bakery department aisle in your local supermarket, where all the other sugars are. And despite some press, they're saying that the sugar alcohol that's in the stevia, that's mixed in with the stevia, may be a little dangerous. But if you use things in moderation, it should be quite fine. Then just stir it up. So you get a little infusion of ginger, sugar, vinegar, thin soy sauce, and add a little water, because without the water it's going to be very highly potent. And just mix it up, and this is your dipping sauce. So after the dumplings are steamed for 10 minutes, basically put on a little tray and I'll show you, and then just add the sauce, and you have dumplings, frozen dumplings, and you'll save a lot of money. And if you have a passion for it and you like to eat a lot of it, this is even better, okay? I must say that there's quite a lot of dumplings in the 1 pound, 4 ounces, all right? So remember, the key here is 10 minutes, all right? And you'll really enjoy it, and it's WEE, W-E-E-E. Download the application, and you'll have free access. You order a certain amount, you get free shipping. And a lot of things that I discuss here, you'll be able to access on WEE. With that in mind, you haven't seen me in a while. I just want to let you know that I was writing my first cookbook. And the reason what inspired me to write the cookbook was, basically you go to Barnes & Noble and you get a cookbook. And I personally feel a little intimidated that it's a huge book. The picture on the cover is perfect, right? And I'm thinking that, am I really going to create this dish that's going to look just like that? So it's a little intimidating. And then I go through the booklet. It's glossy pages. Basically, I read the recipes, and they're sort of like, I feel like a little uppity. Obviously, these are trained chefs. And for whatever reason, I just don't feel I'm a down-to-earth guy, and I would rather have the ability to be able to relate to the writer or the chef that's more down-to-earth. And so what happens is they picture up all these pictures of the dishes for the recipe. It looks so perfect. Like I'm kind of like scared to try to create it and try to duplicate that exact picture. But at the same time, they don't really explain in the recipe why things are done the way they are. So I have a lot of questions, but they're not able to answer it. It's in a book, right? So basically my cookbook, although the recipe may seem long, it does explain a lot of the little details that you might be thinking in your head, right? So here's the cookbook. The You Can Do It Asian Cookbook by Chef Wu Can. All right? So your keywords is Chef Wu Can and the You Can Do It Asian Cookbook. And I work with Amazon. So you go to the Amazon ebook, put those keywords in, and you'll be able to get it. Because going to YouTube is one thing, it's more entertaining, but then applying yourself, you can actually get the paperback book or ebook, and basically you can work from the book in terms of create these delicious dishes. Now, one thing that you should know is that all my dishes, and there's 25 recipes, these are my recipes. These are my recipes that I worked at home with, right? That I fed my family with, right? Now, there is a way that you can take somebody else's recipe, change one of the ingredients, and you're not violating any kind of patent, because there is no patent, right? Or trademark. And they just resell that recipe as theirs. Now, I don't do that. I'm providing these recipes from scratch that I've worked with over the years, feeding my family and friends. They've been very successful. But what I do on my recipes is offer you a measurement. You know, a teaspoon of this, a tablespoon of that. But in my class, which I teach at the local college, I try to teach my students, once you start using these measurements, after a while you get a good feel for exactly the taste and the quantity that you're using and what kind of flavor you want to get. Then basically you just can just do it freestyle, add a dash of this, a little of this, as long as it tastes good. Well, the problem is with cooking is that everybody follows the recipe, but they don't really understand what the taste should be like. So I want you guys with the book to try to taste it, see what you like. If you want a little bit more salt, add a little bit more salt. A little more sugar, add a little bit more sugar. Add a little bit more spice, add a little bit more chili oil. You have the freedom to create. And because of that freedom, you'll enjoy it much better. All right? I want you to enjoy Asian traditional cooking in a better light. Traditional cooking, it's more vegetables. It's more nutritious. It offers a different flavor, right? And it's easier. You're not going to be inundated with all the sauces and the high sodium, the high sugar, the high fat that Chinese or Asian American dishes offer. All right? So you'll eat healthier. You'll spend much less than if you were to buy it at a takeout restaurant, because after you order takeout, you feel kind of bloated, right? And then another half an hour, another hour, you feel hungry again, right? You're not going to get that kind of feeling with traditional foods, all right? So I'm going to be introducing you to more vegetables and maybe a little less protein, but I want you guys to really enjoy it. Try my cookbook. It's on sale right now. It's with Amazon. Go to the ebook session and you'll really, really appreciate it. I fill in the why question that most cookbooks don't. Because they're not gonna make money explaining why. They're gonna make money selling, right? So if you feel uncomfortable buying cookbooks, you won't feel uncomfortable buying mine. All right, it's more down to earth. It's how I speak. Pictures are basic pictures, and the wording is simplistic, right? And you won't feel intimidated. And Chef Wu Can wrote the book himself, all right? And I didn't steal any ideas from anybody, all right? So consider that, and I'll be right with you. The steamer's cooking right now on the stove, and if you have any questions, let me know. Go to my website, chefwucan.com, right? Take a look at some other videos, take a look at some of my articles, and I think you're going to enjoy my website too, all right? So just bear with me, hold on. Okay, guys, after 10 minutes, now remember, 10 minutes, when you purchase the deluxe mini pork soup dumplings, right? The company's name is Prime, right here. Prime Food, right? Here they are. 10 minutes, piping hot, right? Now, my way is to take a little bit of the ginger and pour it on top of each dumpling. So every bite, you get a little piece of ginger. Okay, with a little bit of sauce. The sauce is up to you. You may want to add sriracha sauce to it, you can. But the ginger, the thin soy sauce, the vinegar, and a little bit of sugar go well together, and add a little water to dilute it a little bit, right? And this is how you enjoy it. Right? You might have seen this when you went to a dim sum, and this is how they serve it in a little container. But these are delicious. And I'll just show you that having these delicious dumplings is truly an experience if you love dumplings. So I have it, I dip it in. Obviously, there is soup inside. And I'll just take a bite. Blow it. Very good. Soup dumplings. Frozen. You get a whole hell of a lot 1 pound, 4 ounces of these for half the cost of what you would pay in a restaurant. So the only way you can get it is go to an Asian store, look for it. The name brand is Prime Food, or download the app WEE, W-E-E-E, 3 E's, on your app, and you can order it. And you'll see other fascinating foods there too. All right, so I encourage you to save some money and buy it. Stick it in the freezer, buy a couple of bags, stick it in the freezer. Better than going to the dim sum place and paying a little bit overpriced. All right, so any questions, let me know. But remember, go to Amazon, the ebook site, put in Chef Wu Can, and put in the You Can Do It Asian cookbook that I wrote by Chef Wu Can. Okay? And it's entertaining, it's fun, it explains the why, which is very important. All right? And I'll give you the last thing. You know, some recipes, they say, you got to buy this and buy that. They don't tell you where to buy it. But then when you find a place you buy it, then you see that the price is so expensive. Case in point, truffle, right? So you buy it, you pay $20 for a piece of truffle. All they want is a couple of shavings. Then you put it in the refrigerator, and then basically it sits there, and you're hoping to use it again, but you never get a chance to, and then it rots. All right? Then you have to throw it away. Then you try the dish with the truffle in it, and can you really tell a difference if the dish had truffle or didn't have truffle? So I'm being more practical in terms of the ingredients I use. Basically, the quality of the ingredients that you buy will give it that beautiful taste. All right? So consider that. And Chef Wu Can, you can too. And aloha from this great state of Maryland. Okay? Bye-bye.